Hey, how's it going? Happy Sunday. Today's topic is going to be one that the kids will laugh about because I'm fixing to um, jump up and say some stuff about the parents. So, this is a chance if you're a poor old kid who's been made to watch this, you can grab your parents and tell them, hey, come in here. He's talking to you directly. This is for the people who have kids who are complaining because their kids aren't, doing what they're supposed to, aren't doing their homework, or spending all their time on their electronics, or, not cleaning up their rooms, not doing the things they're supposed to do. And I'm like, I get you. There are a lot of kids out there, and you kids know who you are, who have not been keeping up your end of the bargain. I will start by telling you an interesting story about someone that I was talking to, and their complaint was that their kid was spending too much time on their electronics, that they were, coming in the evenings and first chance they get, they were on their electronics. They spent most of their evening time on their electronics in their room, playing their games or, doing the headset, talking to their friends or whatever. And before I realized it, I got all into, talking to the kid about things to do to reduce that and all that. And I had asked them, I said, so when you come out of your room, what is it in the house that you can do now that you've left your room, you've left your electronics? And the poor child looked at me and go, nothing. And I'm like, oh, my typical fashion. You mean there's nothing you can do? You can't, go talk to your parents. You can't, sit and play a game with them, something like that. Eat dinner with them. No. The no was correct. Because in this case, when I asked the parent, okay, when you come home at night, what do you normally do? Oh, well, I'm usually tired and I go into my room and, I may take a nap and, I sit and relax and I calm down for my day by laying in my bed and watching TV. So you want me to tell your child to get off of their electronics and get out of their room so that they can come into your room, climb in bed next to you, and watch electronics. Do we see something wrong with this picture? So I had to back up and go, let's just talk for a minute. What example are we setting all together? And as I've found out over time, a lot of parents are doing the exact things that they don't want their kids to do. And they're not doing the things they want their kids to do. I had another person who come in and, there was a big row going on because one of the daily things that the child was supposed to do was read for 20 minutes, that they were having problems in school. And in order to improve their reading skills, they were expected to read for 20 minutes a day. And I've gotten to the point now where I turned squarely and looked at the parent and I said, cool, what book are you reading right now? Silence. And I'm like, I said, you don't have to be embarrassed. You can read them romance novels. I think that's awesome if that's what you do, or mystery books, or, you don't have to read a earth-shattering, changing book. There's a lot of them out there, but, what are you reading? Nothing. So you want your child to engage in an activity that you yourself do not do. Well, I did all that when I was in school and I don't have to read now. And, I'm like, so you're telling me there's no fun or joy in reading that you can find. Your child looks at you for an example that says reading is boring and I would rather watch YouTube or Netflix myself. And you're complaining about your child. So what's the point of all this? Well, you have to be the example of what you would like your child to be. If you're wanting your child to be active in the family and not have as much electronics, you're going to have to put that phone down. Now, as part of a general just family theme that I emphasize when people come in to talk to me is you need to have a family dinner every day. You need to engage your family members in conversation every day. You review the basics of manner and etiquettes. You show them conversation skills. You talk with them. You ask them about their day, and you teach them to ask about yours, and you teach them how to have a conversation with somebody without screaming, hollering, yelling. I mean, let's take a close examination of what happens in a lot of households. You come home as the parent, you tune into your electronics, you go to your room, you climb into your bed and watch your electronics. You may stay in the living room and watch it, but you're still watching TV. You're still doing the very things that you have a problem with your kids doing. Your kid isn't reading or doing their homework. And I'll hear this argument from parents all the time. I don't have homework. I'm like, well, if you're coming to see me in therapy, yes, you do. And have you done it? If you don't do your homework for me, how can you complain that your child doesn't do their homework for school? And even if you don't have specific homework, how are you improving your life? I mean, this gets into a whole bigger idea of what do you do with your time? And if your time is spent only with fluff and no solid stuff, then how can you complain that your life isn't going nowhere, you're not getting what you want, or you're not improving in certain areas of your life? Because you have the time when you come home to improve yourself, your life, your intellect, your understanding, your philosophy of life. There's lots and lots of things out there to go about that. You can spend the electronic time you're using learning something, a skill or something important to you. You know, reading a book is still an excellent way to spend your time, an excellent way to improve yourself in your life. If you're not doing those things, though, and you're telling your child, I want you to do those things that I won't do. And even if you're telling your child, well, I already did all that, I went through school, your child's going to go, yeah, well, good to do you. Why should I read? You don't use that skill. Why should I learn anything? You don't use that skill. Ask yourself, are you teaching your child that their purpose in life is to one day become just like you? And if you are the kind of person that you want your child to grow up and be, awesome sauce. You're living the dream. If you're not, if there's something that you wished you could change about your life, then my suggestion to you is get busy about changing it. Show your child that you're changing it and how. Be the example. If you have a problem with anger and you're trying to get your kid to not be so angry, look deep inside. What are you doing? A lot of times people will tell me I'm dealing with anxiety or depression or other problems like that. And I'm like, are you seeking therapy or help, counseling? Well, no. We're working on little Johnny's problem first. And I'm like, that's putting your horse before the cart. You need to work on your stuff. Yes, you can work on their stuff at the same time, but you need to be the example. Show them what is possible. Use the skills that if you can't even afford, if it's a money problem and you can't afford for both of y'all to go to therapy, then you should be sticking your nose in their therapy session and taking the skills that they're being taught or being asked to do and taking them home and doing them yourself so that you can make sure you've worked with that problem. The amount of books that are free at the library is unending. You can check out any book you want. You can do it electronically. You can go and actually pick the book itself up and read it. There's videos, there's documentaries on dealing with a lot of the stuff. Even if you can't walk into the office, are you doing anything to fix the problems in your life? And then showing your kids that you're doing it. So I encourage you parents, Be the example. Kids, if you're listening, brag on your parents. Tell them, be the example, okay? And make it happen. I hope y'all have a great Sunday. Y'all take care. Parents, quit the crying. Go to the bathroom and get you something, wipe the tears away. Blow your nose. Y'all have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, and namaste.